All right, Ulm turn 39. We completed some conjuration research, so we can get Vine Ogres now. Headed on to 5 for those full-sized elementals. There was a Dire Portent, which, that's always good news. This one's actually not as bad as normal. Pangea looks like they stole Mother Oak. I think Therados had it before. So yeah, other people, wasting their gems fighting over these globals is, good news, better news anyway than just one person keeping it. We did not find any magic sites, which happens. And then yeah, there was a few battles. I think this was a raid, kind of cheeky. From Hinnom here. Not a lot of province defense here. This isn't a cave, so these pale ones are a little better than normal. I mean, they're still pretty terrible, but at least their opponents will probably be terrible too. But yeah, so he's just got a couple of these guys who are just like really low level death casters, and then just trying to spam out a couple undead here, and then also a little bit of frighten. To overcome them. And like, yeah, skeleton spamming mages definitely like can be effective raiders. These guys, D1, yeah, I mean, you can see this guy's already fatigued himself out, and they don't make a lot of skeletons. So yeah, this is gonna be tough. I think one of them might have actually, no, he's still in the air. Yeah, I think one of them routed already. So yeah, I have seen not so much with the D1s, but yeah, anyway, skeleton raiding like this definitely can work, but yeah, it did not work here. But yeah, not a bad try. And then yeah, we were just cleaning out some barbarians here. When you're not at war, you can just use more resources on independence like this, and it's always nice because then you lose less. So yeah, this went pretty well. And then let's see, I think this is just more raiding. Yeah, so this is just a ping from a scout. And yeah, Hinnom actually has like a decent army here. Some of this might be PD, like these tribe here are probably PD. A couple of these chariots, but yeah, not a decent army here from Hinnom. So we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of that tribe was just PD. So yeah, a little smaller than it looked, but still there's some few threatening things in here, especially like the Melkart. So yeah, looks like that conflict is continuing. And then yeah, we had some unevents. People believe in the boar. Some opposition. Got some nature gems. That's nice. People believe in the boar. That's cool. And then we lost some gold. So yeah, not bad. Kind of a quieter turn. We're doing some site searching. Have a couple of mages moving around, a couple searching. Actually bringing the god out. One of our air randoms here to do some additional site searching. Let's see. We are still building this palisade here. Definitely want to protect. This is actually like not bad income, especially for like the low population. I think there's a gold mine here. And then yeah, a lot of fire gems, and then possibly want to get these pyromancers, or sorry, probably these guys, these for the fire 3, which we don't have natively. And honestly, like yeah, pyromancers aren't terrible, not great battle mages, but anyway, yeah, this is a really valuable site, really valuable province. So yeah, building a fort here. And then bringing our armies back to the capital. Not actually sure where they're going to be headed next. We do have a lot of problems up here in the north. Like yeah, this province is out of control with the unrest, and this one's starting to get worse. So we might go up there and patrol that down. But yeah, otherwise, like still kind of, just licking my wounds here after this war, trying to clean up independence. Still not really sure what the next moves are going to be. Feeling fairly secure on these borders, have a nap with Macone, and, obviously this war is still ongoing, although it does look like Hinnom, is kind of getting the worst of it. But, we saw that they do have some forces left. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, moving a scout onto Agartha, thinking that probably Marverni is going to move back on, so definitely want to catch any fights there. Yomi will probably storm next turn. And then, still keeping an eye on this Siege of Menchaca, which is just, ongoing. Kind of a slower turn, but it's turn 39. All right, Ulm, turn 40. Starting to summon the Vine Ogres, still summoning Clayman. Searching for magic sites actually paid off this turn. So we found a Whispering Woods, which is a pretty cool site. Let's go take a look. 2 gems, that's always nice. And then it enables recruitment of this Enchantress, which is a mage. We don't care as much about the nature, but she just has some base nature. She also gets some random paths. She has guaranteed, 2 more paths in these guys. And then a 50% chance at another path on top of that. So we already have a lot of elemental access as Ulm. So this find is maybe not as good for early age Ulm as compared, to some other nations. But they can still be really powerful mages, and they have the option of getting, or the possibility of getting some cross paths that we don't have as Ulm, which can be really nice. We'll definitely be getting a fort here and a lab, to recruit some of these and take advantage of them. Definitely a really cool find. And then we also found a burial mount, which is just death gems, but it's always nice. I think there was a couple of battles. Let's see, this is just a raid, these Cyclopses, just taking out some PD. We can just watch. We've seen these guys, but let's see if I think they're still, rocking the trample boots and the same kind of gear that we saw before. So it looks like they've got some fire shield too, which is a really good way, especially against like these guys with the daggers, because I think fire shield, I'm not sure if it activates on hit or I think it's just on attack. But if you have like lower length weapons like daggers, you're either more likely or you take more damage from fire shield. I forget exactly. It's worse. Whatever it is, it's worse. You don't want to attack somebody with a fire shield really at all unless you have fire resistance, but especially not with a dagger. Better to do it with a pike. That's a cool addition there. I don't know if he was doing that in the main battles. Forget offhand, but anyway, so those guys are cool to see in action. No problem with those Wolf Tribe. And that's actually like a decent amount of Wolf Tribe PD, which can be a problem for smaller raiding parties. I mean, this is kind of small in size, but he's actually decently high commitment. But it is nice, having these super combatants or thugs that can kind of go take provinces, while your armies are busy doing other things. Cool stuff. And then let's take a look. I think this was just a ping. There's not really anything in here for Agartha, but Yomi just wanted to confirm that. But he forgot to set this guy to retreat, or I don't know, maybe he just doesn't like Bakemono chiefs. But this guy is going in. He thinks he can take him on. So I don't think it's gonna go well. He took a boulder. I think he's got a limp now. Poor guy. Yep. But he's still going for it. He's like, I feel good about this. These Agarthans, they don't have very good skills. You can see it's taking him a while. He actually gets one. It's just Dominion stuff. He gets a second one. He's just going for it. This is great. And then, he finally goes down. The hero Bakemono chief sacrificed to find out that, there's nothing in this fort. And then, we one of our antler shamans got some more nature magic, which is actually really nice. Definitely have to keep an eye out for these dryad events in the future, because it looks like you just need to move, a nature mage into that province, and then they get their nature magic boosted, which is really nice. And then, this is not so nice. Definitely not dealing with this event. And it appears to be getting worse. And then we lost a scout here to Abyssia. It looks like this might be at least one of their main armies. And I don't think we've really seen too much from Abyssea, certainly not an army this large. So yeah, probably worth just taking a look, seeing what information our scout bought us. So at least some of this is as PD, which is not gonna be happy being next to these burning ones. So I think we've seen them before, but we haven't seen, I think, some of these hellspawn. And so yeah, that's a blood spell, and I think it's specific to Abyssea. There are some generic crossbreeding blood spells that any nation can access, but these hellspawn are specific to the Abyssea nations. And yeah, I mean, they just kind of create a variety of mostly chaff. But I mean, a lot of it's interesting. Like these guys, like, okay, they're undisciplined, so that's kind of rough, because they're just gonna run in and like, yeah, they've not really any protection, and like, yeah, their skills are kind of meh. But they have like a really damaging like magic fire attack. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. That's probably why he's got them like out front here. So like, yeah, I mean, these guys are gonna die, but they're gonna deal a lot of damage. Somehow he has some flagellants, probably just from an event. I don't think Abyssea can normally summon those. These are like summoned units. They're pretty good. For Abyssea, it's good because this Drake Fire is like an AoE attack, and it deals a lot of fire damage, which can be a big problem, trying to integrate that into an army that is not Abyssea's and completely immune to fire. But he is more or less completely immune to fire. So yeah, these are definitely a useful addition. Also undisciplined, so it can be a bit difficult to use. I don't think they have the best morale either. Actually, yeah, that's pretty good. Is that base? Oh, cool. He's being led by a Beastmaster, which I think, yeah, is this guy right here. And that's like an Abyssian unit. So yeah, gives a bonus, I think, to animals. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool use, buffing that morale up, because that definitely can be a problem for these units. And then yeah, he's got some of these guys, which I think also are Hellbreds. Yeah, I mean, you can see like these guys are pretty chaffy. They're not undisciplined, so that's cool, but I mean, they only have a fist. And, their skills suck. So, he's got them. They only cost blood slaves. And then, yeah, these are probably some of the less chaffy, Hellbreds. Because, these guys, they have some equipment, and like, their skills aren't great, but they're okay, good hit points. So yeah, so that's cool. This guy is pretty rare. The other thing about, I don't think it's so much with the generic crossbreeding, but specifically with Abyssea's, Hellbred, yeah, they tend to come with these afflictions, like most of them really. So like, yeah, I think that was a different guy. Let's grab like a random. Yeah, and then also a lot of them are old. Which just, yeah, reduces their skills and everything even more. So, yeah, most of these guys are kind of just, chaff. But you do get, some good units, like, mixed in. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. This is definitely, like, a lot of guys. And, yeah, these Sacreds are pretty nasty. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to fight this. So, anyway, just kind of an interesting look at what Abyssea is rocking. So, yeah, I think that covers events. Just take a look. Yeah, another kind of slow turn, pushing out some scouts, trying to figure out what Niflheim is doing. Still, I'm not really sure what Vanheim is up to. I talked with Hinnom, and he said that, he was engaged with Xibalba. So, that's good news. Hopefully that's true. Don't actually have any scouts here to confirm that. So, you have to be careful about, relying on information from other players too much. But yeah, I mean, Hinnom has been pretty friendly, this round. So yeah, summoning Vine Ogres, in the capital, unfortunately. And yeah, so not taking advantage of this site. And yeah, I just kind of forgot about it. I wanted to get the Vine Ogres summoning like as quickly as possible. And I often just do my summoning in the capital. So, just sort of autopilot it autopiloted on that. I think I do correct this hopefully next turn or maybe the turn after, but yeah, this kind of hurts. And then, yeah, using a Thistle Mace on this guy. So this is one of the guys that got boosted, by that nature event. And you need 3 nature to summon the Vine Ogres. So, he can just summon them unaided. But this guy actually can't summon them, because he only has 2 nature. So he's using this Thistle Mace, which boosts his nature magic up by 1. Yeah, really useful booster. You see it a lot. And yeah. It's good stuff. And then, yeah, also forging some more Dwarven Hammers here, which will, help us make items like that Thistle Mace. They're not cheap, so, I think it's 15 Earth Gems, but we do have a lot of Earth Gems, so, that's not too bad. And then, yeah, that's just kind of something that, you kind of have to get used to in Dominions. You don't always control, what kind of sites you're going to find, so game to game, your gem income can look really different even with the same faction. You're always going to have your capital site, that's going to generate, gems per turn, right? So for Ulm, you can pretty much count on, at least a decent Earth income. And then especially too, it's tied to, the kind of mages that you have and the paths that you can search for. So, it's not so, you're generally going to see a lot of Earth Gems, as early age Ulm. But I mean, we also have like a lot of nature access, and our nature income isn't like nearly as good, right? And I mean, that's just sort of luck of the draw, right? Because it's like, okay, we are getting 1 more Earth Gem a turn, from our capital site as compared to nature. But I mean, you can see the income for Earth is 14 a turn, whereas the income for nature is, 6 a turn. And I mean, our searching is probably, yeah, so we've definitely searched more for Earth, I would say. But, we have quite a few nature searches in here as well. We just haven't been finding, as many nature sites. So just, yeah, it's kind of random. So yeah, summoning these Vine Ogres is going to be, a little tougher with the lower nature income. So yeah, definitely it extra hurts that, we're not summoning at this entrance. But there are some decent Earth summons. I don't think we have access to them just yet. But yeah, I like these gargoyles. They're pretty decent. They're a little pricey. You can increase the amount that you're getting if you have a really powerful caster. But this is kind of hard for Ulm to hit anyway, so we probably won't really be overcasting this. But yeah, definitely not the worst use of Earth Gems. And then also, let's see here. These statues are pretty good. They are also pretty pricey though. And then, yeah, they also get boosted, which, yeah, this is also something that, I mean, we get some Earth 3s and, could boost it up with Earth boots, so we could take advantage of this overcast a little bit. With our God, who's Earth 6, we could definitely somewhat take advantage, of this overcast, and that's always nice, anytime that you can take advantage, of getting, extra from a spell. Not all spells offer this, and it varies spell to spell. Like, so for instance, this one, you just get 1 extra for every extra level, but for the gargoyles, for example, you need 2 extra levels in order to get, 1 extra gargoyle. So definitely want to take a look at like what the exact breakpoints are, especially because like one of the things you can do is design your pretender around like one of these summoning spells. I wouldn't really recommend designing it around these particular ones. Oftentimes the national like summoning spells can be worth it. So yeah, if you have like some really good national summon, and they have this effect where, if you have a really powerful caster, you're going to be getting extra of those units. It's definitely a consideration to design, at least influence your pretender design. You probably don't want to throw away everything else. But yeah, anyway. So this is probably where, at least some of our Earth Gems are going to go into eventually. But But yeah, so that covers, kind of some of the thoughts on the research. Yeah, you can see we're going to be going up to Enchantment 5, so we will get access to the gargoyles at that point, although we're probably looking more at foul vapors there. Conjuration 5 we've talked about. Construction 6 opens up like the next tier of items that we can construct, including a really important research booster. So yeah, we're definitely looking at that, and that research booster requires fire gems to create, and yeah, we have a lot of fire gems. So yeah, I think that covers, this is mostly just, site searchers moving around. The army is just hanging out at home, which is not great. Probably should be using it, to patrol down some unrest. You usually don't want units doing nothing. So yeah, this is not great. But yeah, still not sure, where we're going to go next. Mavernia is looking a little too strong for us to take on alone. Maybe Niflheim, especially if somebody, gets engaged or involved. Really, like, this is probably the best war for us to jump into. Possibly going after Hinnom, although it's going to be kind of awkward to attack through, especially because, now Makon has essentially blocked us off. We have to go through this divine mummy. Yeah, and I don't really know how strong divine mummies are. I know they're not weak, and I know that they'll disease. They have like a disease cloud. I think all mummies have a disease cloud, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm not like super excited to throw my army into that, and I don't really have any super combatants or like thugs that don't care about disease that could kill this. So yeah, probably have waited a little too long to get involved with this, and also yeah, not super thrilled about the idea of helping Makon get even larger by weakening Hinnom. Would really kind of like to see this war continue to go on. But yeah, realistically, these are probably the neighbors that are closest in size that we could take on. Maybe Niflheim, still trying to figure out exactly how big they ended up. And then yeah, maybe if Vanheim is really busy with Xibalba, but they look pretty big, based on seeing their flag all the way down here and then also all the way up here. So yeah, and then trying to attack Abyssia, we have a nap anyway, but yeah, that would be really awkward. So yeah, not really sure where I'm gonna go next. But yeah, that was turn 40. Alright, Ulm, turn 41, finished research and conjuration. So yeah, we have the full-size elementals now, moving on to enchantment, as we discussed before, doing some more summoning. Found one magic site, at least, an ancient temple. Had some misses, let's see, yeah. So, this one is an astral site, which is nice because we don't actually have any astral mages. I think you find this with priests, actually. So yeah, kind of a nice way to get some astral income if you don't actually have any astral. And then yeah, Yomi assaulted, and this was this empty fort, but I think yeah, he brought a lot in. So let's take a quick look what he's got. So he's using a lot of these Ko-Oni. We're size 1, so they pack in really tight. They have really good attack density, but conversely, evocations will kill them really effectively. They don't have a lot of health or protection, but their skills are pretty good. I think these guys are getting bonus. So they have this chaos power. Yes, they cause unrest as well. But yeah, you see a lot of demons have this chaos power, and so yeah, they're more powerful in provinces with high turmoil, and then yet less powerful, like they get a negative, I believe, if the province has really high order. So yeah, since they cause unrest, that kind of combos well, because they essentially buff themselves up simply by being in the province. Yomi probably has pretty strong turmoil dominion. So if he's fighting in his own dominion, then yeah, these guys are going to get pretty nice bonus. to their skills. And yeah, I mean, you know, with the skills this good, their attack is like decently high damaging. So yeah, these guys are not bad. When you kill them, they actually like turn into a ghost. They have like a ghost form. And if you don't kill the ghost form, then yeah, they just reform at the end of the battle. And it, you know, it doesn't matter that you killed this form. So yeah, they can definitely be kind of nasty. But you know, I mean, low protection, and again, they die really easily. It's evocation magic. But yeah, they're kind of cool. And then he's got a bunch of these Dione, which, you know, is kind of one of the main things for Yomi, for this nation. And yeah, I mean, you know, they're pretty good super combatants. You know, they have a good amount of hit points, you know, good skills. I mean, this guy's really experienced and a hero. But, you know, regardless, they have pretty good skills. And then, yeah, they have, you know, pretty solid paths. I think sometimes they get, yeah, some air randoms. So, yeah, I mean, you know, good paths for super combatants and, you know, buffing themselves up. It looks like he's kind of got, yeah, just a variety. Like some of these guys are ungeared. Some of them have gear. You know, yeah, not really sure what the overall game plan for these guys are. Like, we're probably not really going to see it, you know, against this empty fort. But yeah, I mean, you know, this is a lot of Dione. So if we ever go up against Yomi, we'll definitely need to think about, you know, how to deal with these guys. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then let's see, had some unexpected events, tax collector waylaid, of course, and you know, some barbarians, you know, coming after us. But then one of our heroes showed up, which is actually pretty lucky, considering we took some misfortune. But yeah, Ulm doesn't get particularly good heroes. You know, in you know, just vanilla dominions. There's a few mods that can give them better heroes, definitely. But of the vanilla heroes, I would say this guy is the better one. So that's cool. Let's take a look. Yeah, so have him at work, summoning Vine Ogres immediately, because, you know, he's just natively a Nature 3. Of course, you know, he shows up in the capital, and yeah, so we've talked about that. Still haven't moved these guys. Come on, pass me. But he's also a Holy 3, which is really handy, because Holy 3s, you know, they can cast Divine Blessing. So, I mean, our bless, you know, isn't great, so it doesn't matter as much. But, you know, it can be really important if you have a bunch of sacreds that you want to bless up, you know, and you don't natively have Holy 3s. And then Holy 3s are also, they can claim thrones. So yeah, I mean, you can always claim thrones with your pretender, assuming they're around, or your prophet, you know, who automatically becomes a Holy 3. But yeah, so this is just another guy that can claim thrones. And you know, I mean, having a level 3 priest can be kind of nice against like demons or undead. You know, I mean, just the one, you know, probably isn't going to turn the tide, but it doesn't hurt. So yeah, we don't mind seeing that. Yeah, I think that more or less covers it. So we started a fort here to try to take advantage eventually of these enchantresses. And then otherwise, it looks like, I believe, so we are moving the army out, and I think, yeah, this is where the barbarians, so when you get a message like this, I don't know if it's always the case, but it seems to be like almost always the case. There will be a barbarian attack there. So we're going to try to head these barbarians off and, you know, move our army in ahead of them, and yeah, make sure that we don't actually lose this province. Otherwise, you know, it looks mostly, you know, just moving around, doing, you know, some more site searching, still, you know, pushing some scouts out. It looks like Maverni did not choose to move onto this fort, which, yeah, I could see, you know, why he might be a little leery of jumping onto this. There's a lot of stuff. So, yeah, this war is not quite over yet. Yeah, other than that, let's see. So there's some wolves now hanging out. It looks like this fort has been cracked. So, yeah, we might see a siege, or, an assault here. Next turn, but yeah, so this is still dragging on, and yeah, I think that covers it. So now it's turn 41. Alright, Ulm turned 42, finished research in enchantment, moving on to enchantment level 5, definitely looking at that foul vapors, and then also the gargoyles, which we talked about, still doing summoning, actually found some magic sites this turn, which is cool. Mercury Pond, I think that is water, and then let's see here, Mineral Deposit, which I believe is earth, and then Cave of Ghouls, which is death. And yeah, kind of a little bit of a different one. I think this one, yeah, so Death Mage can enter to summon ghouls. So yeah, some sites, like, let's see, where, like this one that we've talked about, will let you, recruit commanders. And for these, like, yeah, I usually like to put forts down, because they take, recruit commander points, which, you only have one normally in a province. And then, with a palisade still just leaves you at one generally. And then a fortress will give you 2. So, you'll be able to recruit mages more quickly. I think these are slow to recruit, so it'll still take 2 turns, even with a fort. But yeah, without a fort, it's going to be 4 turns to recruit these. But anyway, so there's some sites that let you, recruit commanders, and, just follows like normal recruitment rules. But for these sites, they work a little bit differently. Like, you can't actually, recruit the ghouls here, but what you can do is there's a special order. So like, here's a death mage that is in this province, and there's a special order here, so you can tell him to enter the site, and then he would just do this every turn, and then we would get ghouls, or there's a couple of these, or I don't know, probably a lot of these sites, knowing dominions. So you're gonna get whatever it is that's tied to this site. I don't really end up taking advantage of this one. I don't particularly want ghouls. Like, it certainly wouldn't be worth this guy hanging out and doing this, because it's like, okay, they're free units, sort of, but you're using mage turns that you could be using, site searching or researching or whatever, and then of course you're still paying upkeep on this mage. So I mean, they're not exactly free units. You could always, like, there's ways to summon death mages, or various types of mages. So you could use a summon, to just sit here and recruit these, and then at least, wouldn't cost you any gold. But then of course, you spent all those gems, to get that mage. So yeah, I mean, it's just a trade-off, like everything in Dominions. And it just depends on, well, how much do you want this particular unit. I'm not particularly interested in ghouls, so yeah, I don't really take advantage of this. But I mean, 2 death gems is really nice, so that's a cool find. And then yeah, we had some battles. So it looks like Machaca is breaking out, and that's definitely a disadvantage of just like sitting on a fort, because he's probably been in there just summoning units every turn. And I don't think we didn't really see a whole lot on that fort, like just some wolves. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe this could be successful. So yeah, I think we've seen a lot of these elements before from Machaca. Just some more of these long dead horsemen and these horned serpents, and I think, yeah, so he's got his pretender in here, so we'll get to see a dragon in action probably, unless he just uses him as a caster, but I mean, yeah, really probably the only reason, although actually it looks like he gets some extra paths in this mage form, but oftentimes the reason you wouldn't want to be a dragon is because you can't take advantage of these item slots because the dragon doesn't have them. But I mean, his gear is already set up so that he can transform into a dragon without having to worry about that. I'm not actually sure what happens to items that are in a slot that you lose. You might lose that item, but anyway, he doesn't have to worry about that here. So yeah, so we'll probably see a dragon. And then yeah, he's brought out quite a few mages. So like, I think these are his cap onlys, and they're pretty powerful mages. They get some fire gems, maybe like flaming arrows or fire elemental spam. Yeah, I mean, more fire gems, quite a few fire gems here. And then I think some of these guys, like, yeah, these guys are, foreign recruits. I don't think Machaka normally gets access to these, but it looks like they're also just carrying some fire gems, so probably fire elementals as well. So yeah, and then he's got these ogres and some terracotta soldiers. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff, so probably can beat some wolves. Yeah. So there are wolves here, but yeah, in true elven fashion, there is actually a whole army here that we could not see because they all have glamour and stealthy. Yeah, so I think these are we've seen these guys before. Helheim's Sacreds, they're pretty good. This is a lot of them. And then yeah, he's also brought some Valkyries, which is Helheim's other Sacred, who are also pretty good. And then yeah, he's got like quite a few casters in here as well. These can also double as like thugs, so he might send them in a melee or might just have them cast. But yeah, this is actually a lot of stuff from Helheim. So, but I mean, Machaka has a lot of guys and a lot of gems. So, and maybe a dragon. So let's see how it goes. Looks like a lot of blessing going down. Yeah, that makes sense. Helheim has a ton of sacreds. Looks like rain is going down, probably from Helheim here. Nice. So yeah, this is a really good play. I mean, either he correctly guessed that Machaka is going to be doing a lot of fire magic, or or he's seen him use it before. But yeah, so rain just makes fire magic more fatiguing. So like all fire spells that anyone casts will cost more than their standard fatigue. I'm not actually sure how much more, but yeah, it's kind of nasty. A lot of times, people talk about like rain being kind of the counter to fire magic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have enough experience to say for sure. Fire magic still seems pretty effective to me in general, but this is definitely going to hurt Machaka. And then yeah, it's also makes it less likely that guys are going to burn. So if you do get set on fire, you're more likely to have it extinguish more quickly. And I'm not sure if it affects heat fatigue auras. I don't think so, but I don't actually know. Anyway, definitely a good call here from Helheim. And then also, yeah, so he's got an Earthcaster here. Wow, a pretty powerful Earthcaster. I didn't realize Helheim got Earth access this high. So that's cool. So yeah, so he's doing some Strength of Giants. We're definitely familiar with that. So yeah, and that it's going to be helpful, definitely. The elves don't necessarily have. This is from the Bless. Wonder where that. It probably went on the wolves. What do you bet? Yep. The AI casting, they just can't resist. All these hit points. And I guess they're like, sure, why not even more strength on these wolves? I don't know if they really need it, but they got it. So anyway, Strength of Giants is a good spell. We've seen that before. Let's see what. Yeah, so fire elementals, and it looks like our dragon friend did go to a dragon. So yeah, you can see like, wow, there's a lot of fatigue. I'm not sure how many elementals these guys made. Let's take a quick look. I think normally summoning the elementals of either size, actually, for either the small ones or the large ones, it's 100 fatigue. It's just the large ones, you need a higher path of fire magic to actually cast it. So yeah, I mean, he was still able to get off, 2 fire elementals here. He did take some damage from excessive fatigue, which I don't think is normal. But yeah, I mean, these cost 100 fatigue to summon normally, and so you generally for just like a level 1 mage like this, level 1 fire mage, doesn't really have any kind of like fatigue boosting, or I mean, he's just a regular level 1 fire mage. It's pretty normal that you're only going to get out 2 elementals off this guy, because he's going to cast the first one, fall asleep at 100 fatigue, tick down, wake up, then cast the other one, and then basically knock himself out, probably for the battle. So I mean, rain definitely caused like a little bit of HP damage, And I know that sometimes the mages will not cast, they'll go off script if they are worried about like injuring themselves or possibly even like, you know, killing themselves with the fatigue. I don't think they'll kill themselves. So, you know, if for whatever reason, you know, your script is going to fatigue them to that point, then they'll just go off script. Not 100%. Maybe you might get some situations where, you know, a mage will kill themselves with their script. But yeah, I mean, these guys definitely, they went for it, you know, even though they took damage off of it. So anyway, I mean, Rain definitely helping a bit, but, you know, he's still able to get off his fire elementals here. It looks like it's all just the lesser, yeah, so the smaller fire elementals, even from the better casters. So he probably just doesn't have the research yet, which, you know, makes sense. Like, he's down to his capital. That needs stuff. So yeah, these long dead horsemen going in against these wolves. I think they might have got a couple kills. It looks like these wolves are also berserkers. So yeah, they're not going to rout. And then yeah, the hell herdings coming in. I think, yeah, they have fire resistance on the bless. So I mean, that really hurts. You know, between the rain and the fire resistance, I don't think these hell herdings are going to worry too much about these lesser fire elementals. And then like with this defense skill, like these ogres, like forget it. They're not going to get any hits. Maybe the snakes, maybe. It looks like some of these Valkyries got moss bodied. So yeah, that's cool. They also have like invulnerability. Like, yeah, I don't think that this is really going to be able to do too much. The dragon is probably M'Chaka's only hope. And it looks like somebody, yeah, so Helheim just sent this guy in the back kind of as a thug. No gear really even. He probably cast flight on himself. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of ballsy. Although, I mean, there aren't really, yeah, there's no bodyguards back here. You know, and I mean, like, yeah, honestly, you probably could have stole like a couple of these terracotta warriors or somebody, you know, as at least like a few bodyguards. Although he wasn't necessarily, you know, expecting flyers, I guess. You know, maybe he's not familiar with Helheim, or, you know, maybe Helheim hadn't really been using, you know, like Valkyries, because yeah, I mean, Valkyries are a flyer that, you know, Helheim pretty much has access to immediately, because they're a cap sacred. It looks like Helheim cast Shadow Blast, which is a pretty good damage evocation, although it missed completely, although it missed his own guys too, so, you know, that's a win. But anyway, yeah, so I think this guy might have gotten a mage. But yeah, this is definitely really dangerous here for M'Chaka. Assuming the dragon doesn't... Oh, yep, dragon left. And, like, yeah, you can see, like, this guy is screwed now, especially because, like, he's super asleep. So, like, this guy is just, you know... He's just killing... A typical elf. Just, you know, killing people, defenseless, sleeping people in robes. Good work, elf. But definitely an effective strategy. Not sure where the dragon went. Hopefully he didn't just rout. You know, he's like, this is... Okay, yeah, no. So he went in. So he went in the back line. Okay, Shocking Grasp. Yeah, wow, Shockwave. He's getting hammered. So he didn't get stunned at least. So that's good. And I mean, you know, he has a lot of hit points. And he has a Ring of Regeneration. Does he have it on the Bless? No. He's got some Awe on the Bless. That's cool. But yeah, he's got 20% regeneration. You know, he might have cast regeneration on himself, because yeah, I think in the human form he had access to some nature magic, so that's why he's getting the 20%, because this only gives 10%. So yeah, I mean, 20% regeneration with this much health, you know, that's pretty good. Although that said, he is susceptible to shock. So, you know, I mean, not only does he not have any shock resistance, like all his shock stuff is going to be extra effective. Although he did somehow manage to avoid getting stunned. You know, he popped this Elf's Glamour, you know, with his fire. Although again, you know, yeah, fire resistance on the Bless. So you can see, like, he didn't really even take that much damage. You know, it was like dragon fire to the face. Although it looks like, yeah, this guy, he wasn't interested. He's like, yeah, you know, 10 fire resistance. That's still a dragon. But yeah, I'm not sure what that was. Some of this is Holy Word, which can stun gods and sacreds. Although I think in this case it was just the lightning that stunned him, because yeah, obviously the lightning can also stun. So yeah, now at this point, I mean, yeah, he's taking a ton of damage from this lightning. Yeah, this is not looking good, especially like since he's stunned. Let's see. Yeah. So it looks like, some more guys. We had another guy fly into the back. Nope, this guy just walked here. I mean, there's no front line. Yeah, I don't think those ogres and everything did too much. I mean, Machaca probably just didn't. I don't think his research is that high. Like, he probably has been fighting this war since early on. This is what he could bring to the table, and it's just not enough against these sacreds. And I think these mages, yes, they've routed, but they're asleep. So yeah, they're probably not going to escape. So yeah, it's pretty much, down to this dragon, who's just getting hammered by this lightning. I mean, he is still, regenerating quite a bit. I mean, you can see, let's see if he gets another regeneration tick here. Yeah, 34. So, I mean, that's really good. But I mean, like, yeah, he's just getting absolutely hammered. And then, yeah, I think he routed there. Yeah, the armies of Machaca are routed. So that was actually probably just an HP route, like not actually the dragon routing. So yeah, that did not look good for Machaca. Yeah, he lost pretty much everything. The dragon did escape. I don't think pretender gods can be killed in the retreat, so he still has the dragon. But yeah, and then I mean, Helheim, he didn't really lose much. So this is a really good win, from Helheim. I've been talking about how this siege has been taking a really long time. But, I mean, I don't know, maybe he was looking to like bait this out into a field battle. I mean, it's definitely nice that he could fight it out in the field, not have to worry about that choke point, getting jammed with, a bunch of garbage, preventing all of his hell hurtings from, stacking up and, doing really nasty things. So, yeah, I mean, maybe this was a good plan from Helheim. I mean, hopefully he didn't have these mages, sitting on this fort for too long, because obviously, like, losing out on that research really hurts. But, yeah, I don't know. This definitely worked out. So, yeah. And then it looks like Merverni did decide to jump in on Agartha. So let's take a look here. Yeah, so, again, all the boars. And, yeah, it looks like Agartha did not patrol. So Agartha's capital is under siege again. And then, yeah, we had an assassination attempt on one of our commanders. It was like, this is kind of an interesting one. A native warrior just challenged him to a duel. So let's see who's getting dueled. So we have Barbarian against one of our warrior smiths. And actually, this is one of the better randoms, so hopefully this guy wins, because, yeah, definitely wouldn't want to lose him. So, yeah, Iron Skin, not a bad choice. And then, yep, Cold Blast. So you can see, like, mages are, kind of tough to take down. I mean, a Barbarian Chief isn't exactly the scariest assassin, but, yeah, it just kind of demonstrates how, assassinating mages... if you aren't bringing any magic to the table with an assassin, is a pretty tough proposition, because, these aren't exactly the scariest mages out there, but, still a mage. So that's good news. And then let's see here. And then we had another unexpected event. Oh, okay. Yep, so we did not deal with this, and it looks like, yeah, it resulted in a battle. I don't think we really have too much province defense here. Yeah, we don't really have... Oh, you know what? In fact, I think the event removed a ton of province defense. So we have no province defense here, and it looks like this guy's not... He's a site searcher, and this is why you want to set site searchers to retreat. Because, even... I don't know if these are like... No, these can't be bodyguards. Yeah, I don't know. There's just some undead. Oh, left from our previous disaster, probably. I think that was this province. So he's just solo, and he is not, one barbarian chief, no problem. A huge mass of barbarians, yeah, slow him down. Good luck. Yeah. So that's why you always want site searchers on retreat, which I did not do. So that sucks, because that was a good random too. Yeah, so that hurts. And then let's see. But, hey, we finished one of our our palisades, and at least, you know, we weren't getting eliminated like Calum here. So yeah, Calum is gone. We didn't really see them too much. I think we caught like, you know, one battle with them, but yeah, I guess whatever was going on didn't go well. So yeah, this is the palisades on here, and you know, he's gonna upgrade it right away because again, like, you still only, well, yeah, I've actually went ahead and just started recruiting. But yeah, you don't get yes, this, you can see at the bottom there, this province has 1 commander point to spend each month. So the palisade doesn't actually help you recruit commanders any faster, you know, because it's the same situation with no fort. So yeah, so that's why this guy is upgrading. You pretty much always want to upgrade palisades, I think. So yeah, and then let's see. So that covers events. Do we have anything else going on? Yeah, I guess we didn't get attacked by barbarians here. You know, got attacked by barbarians here instead. So that's cool. So yeah, we're sending the army back to, you know, go deal with these barbarians. You know, still doing some summoning. Yeah, still in the wrong spot. That's really unfortunate. Forging some earth boots. Let's take a look. What do we have here? So we have our great swords, some of that random gear from that over-geared warrior chief from way back when, a couple of hammers that aren't in use right now, an extra thistle mace here for boosters. But yeah, so don't really have too many earth boots though, looks like. Maybe have a couple out on guys. But yeah, earth boots are just, you know, really useful item. I mean, they're, you know, they're a booster, magic boosters. When you can lay hands on them, you pretty much always want them, at least one. You know, and then for Ulm, you know, a lot of our guys, you know, are just kind of like Earth 2, and eventually we're going to want some spells, you know, that are higher in Earth, that, you know, these guys, that the Earth, even the Earth 2s, even with the Summon Earth power, aren't going to be able to cast. And then, you know, for some of our cross path guys as well, it can be useful to boost their Earth up. So yeah, I would say, you know, early age Ulm even more, you know, maybe than other nations, kind of wants like some extra pairs of earth boots to actually bring out, you know, into you know, some more major battles. You know, it's always risky to use boosters during battles because, you know, you might give them to the enemy, but you know, it can be worth it to cast those spells. So anyway, forging some earth boots, doing some site searching, pushing our scouts around. Let's see, is there anything interesting that we caught? Yeah, this is kind of, there's some trolls besieging one of Ur's forts. They've cracked it, but independents will never assault your forts, so this actually doesn't really matter. But is besieging Abyssia, so it looks like they're fighting, and yeah, so where is, I think Abyssia's capital's here, so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this. Definitely an interesting development. Then yeah, we saw that battle. Otherwise, I think that covers it. So yeah, that was turn 42.